The logic here is that this is probably quite a high value, right?
Right.
So that toast with strawberry jam has provided me, I think, with everything I need to know to now go into this pack and remove the card that I believe is yours.
Okay.
Stephen, the effect I'd like to share with you today, of course, involves a deck of cards, but more importantly, a pack of post-it notes and a pen. Because in a moment, I'm going to write down a card on these notes, and then I'll stick it to your head.
Okay.
Is that all right?
That's fine.
Okay, so the card I'll go for, let me choose one. Yeah, I'll go for this one. I'm going to write it down, and then if you could close your eyes for me, I'm going to stick this to your head. I'll make sure this is nice and firmly down so it doesn't drop off. And then what I'd like to do is just to open your eyes, and at this point, look up and try and see the note. Can you?
No, I can't see it at all.
Do you know why?
Why?
It's impossible. You can't. And it's important we establish this because if you can't see the note, you therefore can't see the card that I've written on the note, right?
Yeah.
But I'll put you out your misery. You can take that off and see that I went for the three of spades. Three of spades. And so we've done this exercise to prove that if you write on a note and you stick it on your head, you can't just see it, and figure out what it is. And I wanted you to see this because it's exactly what I'm going to get you to do for me. Okay? So you're going to think of a card in a moment, and you'll write it on the note and you'll stick it on my head. And the way in which you'll write it on the note is just like I've done, abbreviated into 2 characters. So a nice, large, clear number, followed by, rather than just a drawing of the suit, just abbreviate it to the letter, CHSD.
Yeah.
Okay? And in fact, since I went for a 3 of spades, don't go for that as well. Make it different. Okay?
Okay.
So go ahead, take the notes and the pen. I'll close my eyes. Don't want to catch any kind of glimpse of this. And then, as soon as you're finished, peel off the note and stick it to my head. Okay, nice and high up and firm if you could. Excellent. Am I safe to open my eyes?
Yep.
Brilliant. Cool. So, just as we proved earlier, there's no way I can figure out what this note is.
Yeah.
And you're probably wondering, well, why are we even in this situation? Right? I haven't actually explained yet. So, are you familiar with the game Heads Up?
The iPhone game.
It's like a little app game. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You hold up your phone, it has some information, you have to ask questions, try and figure out what it is.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, could you play this as a kind of playing card version? Okay. And there isn't an app for that, so that's why we're using post-it notes. And it also occurred to me that if I'm doing this within a kind of magical context, then for me to just ask 5 or 6 questions and correctly divine the card, you would just argue, well, that's possible.
Bit too easy.
It's not very impossible. It's not very impressive and amazing and magical, which is what I'm going for. Similarly, if I ask you 3 or 4 questions, well, it's impressive, but it's not the best it can be. Even if I ask you 2 questions, you just think, well, it's lucky. But if I asked you just 1 question, and from that 1 question was able to identify your freely thought of card,
that'd be good.
It doesn't get any better than that. That's a miracle. So that's what we're trying to achieve here. And therefore, this question I'm about to ask you has to be very carefully considered because your answer will have to provide me with all the necessary details. No pressure.
Okay.
The question, Stephen, is this. Okay, let me get this right. Stephen, what did you have for breakfast?
Toast.
Probably should have asked a different question.
With jam on it.
With jam.
With jam.
Oh, God, why didn't you say? Okay, so that's completely changed the course of my thoughts now. With jam. That is a game changer, Stephen, because straight out the gate now, I can probably hazard a guess that this is more than likely a red card, right? If we're dealing with strawberry jam, which I feel like we are.
It's a red card, yeah.
Okay, it's a red card.
Yeah.
Based on the belief that it is strawberry jam and strawberries being most kind of...
Oh yeah, it's strawberry jam.
It is strawberry jam. Then I would say this is probably going to be a heart versus a diamond. And in fact, I don't know if you know this, but it's very, very high in calories, strawberry jam. So this would indicate to me, the logic here is that this is probably quite a high value, right?
Right.
So that toast with strawberry jam has provided me, I think, with everything I need to know to now go into this pack and remove the card that I believe is yours.
Okay.
I think I've got it. I'll go for it. I'll go for it. See what happens. Could be, I think most likely to be this one. God, I hope after all this I've got this right. All right, for the first time, I'm going to have a look at what you wrote. Nice handwriting.
Thank you.
I don't think we need any further clarification here. This seems to be a 7 of hearts.
Correct.
Okay, Stephen, I can tell you it's very good news indeed. Because that piece of toast with strawberry jam correctly told me that the card I needed to remove for you was the 7 of hearts.
Hey.
Thank you so much for playing.
It's insane.
Thank you, Stephen. And you can keep this as a little memento. And thank you once again.
That's fantastic.
Thank you.